All right, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. I am Mike, and this is Jane, co-owners of Toast Winery, as well as Cane & Vine Wine Cellars.
Yeah.
Happy Toast Tuesday, Jane.
Happy Toast Tuesday.
All right. How was your week?
My week was good. Busy week. I was a toast.
You were a toast.
Yeah,
yes.
We had a good weekend. Saw a lot of people. We did our first weekend of pickle pairing. That was exciting. Very well received. The apple pie wasn't as big of a hit as I thought it was going to be.
Okay. What was?
Garlic, horseradish, and mustard.
Garlic, horseradish, and mustard. It's like a yellow mustard pickle.
It is, yeah.
It's very,
people are
very
loving
good.
that, but they're really loving the pairing. So of the garlic, horseradish, and the vignoles, we'll buy both of those.
Nice.
To take home and eat together. So I love that. The apple pie is mixed reviews. Either they love it or they hate it.
I could see where that would be a pickle that might be that way, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird flavor.
Yeah,
right?
either they love it or they hate it. So the mustard and the garlic horseradish are the really big hits right now. Right now, it's just weekend one. That could all change next week.
I mean, true. That is true. Right. We only had one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You wouldn't know. You were on vacation.
I was. I had the opportunity to go to Florida for a few days,
mm-hmm.
which was nice. Nice little getaway.
Yeah.
A dear friend of mine moved there this past year after really all of his time in New Jersey before that.
Yeah.
And
I was disappointed I couldn't go. I'd love to visit with them too, but somebody held the hula fort down here. So.
Great to go down there and see how their new life is and how they're living. And of course, it was nice that it was like 78 degrees.
Sure.
And, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. So that was nice.
That was a rude awakening on Sunday evening coming home to your 8-degree weather.
Yeah. One of the cool things I did was visit what was at one time they called it Dodger Town. So it was the Dodgers where they had their spring training facility for baseball.
I was like, aren't the Dodgers in California?
Well, in fact, this was the Brooklyn Dodgers back when they were. So this is going back
Florida.
A long time ago. The Brooklyn Dodgers. So that's where they held their spring training.
Didn't know that. Learned something new today.
Jackie Robinson. They call it now a Jackie Robinson training facility or something like that. They vacated that facility back in the 60s, so a long time ago.
Cool.
MLB now owns it, and it's beautiful. Beautiful facility, beautiful fields, gigantic complex. Yeah. My friend was a little disappointed that I didn't know Jackie Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. You know who Jackie Robinson is?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's one of the first African-American baseball players to kind of break through into major leagues, but I had no idea he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I guess I have no need to know that, but now I know it.
Now you do.
Now I know
it.
Yeah. Nice time, but I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be back, ready to roll. I'm going to talk about what's happening at Toast Winery and Cane & Vine, but first, we are going to do a special behind the scenes today.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, you're not going to be.
No, I'm not going behind the scenes. Nope.
You're not going to be there. You'll get to see it, though.
I will.
When you watch Toast Tuesday, as you always do. No, we're going to take you behind the scenes and talk about filtering wine.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about filtering wine today. So I have not filmed this yet. We're going to do it after this when I go to Toast.
Yeah, filtering wine is kind of a big deal. You need to do that.
Going to be filtering some wine today, and I'll take you guys through
Excuse me.
kind of that process. Maybe you'll find it interesting, but it's something we do with all of our wines.
Yes.
A very important process, as Jane said.
Yeah.
So we'll take you behind the scenes today to have a look at that.
Do you filter the pet nat?
Sometimes, but right before we bottle it. Very rough filter.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I get a lot of feedback. I'm sure you do too about the behind the scenes. People really seem to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
They comment on how it's informative and they learn something new and it's educational. I almost always find it's one of the least watched episodes that we do.
Weird. Yeah.
Right? It just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It's the episode we get the most feedback on.
Yeah.
But it generally tends to be the least watched.
I guess if you're not interested in that part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. People just like being entertained by you and I think more. But no, going to take you behind the scenes today. I think you're going to find it interesting. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, what's going on at Toast Winery?
Pickle pairings continue.
Yeah.
What are we? March 7th. Ooh, our clock's changed. That happens everywhere, not just Toast Winery. Well, almost everywhere.
Daylight savings time begins.
Yeah, I think that's all we got going on that I know of. I'll be back up at Cane and Vine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'll be back up at Cane and Vine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
Sorry,
the chimney cake of the month.
Yeah, at Cane and Vine, winemaker tasting is back this Thursday.
Oh yeah,
and winemaker wife tasting is back Friday, Saturday.
Is that so? We have a different special wine we're going to be pouring. You don't know the chef.
Oh,
we have a different special wine. The Syrah is now officially on the wine list, available to everybody to choose.
Yep. We do have a chimney cake of the month. I wish we had a picture of it. Emily sent you some pictures.
I have a picture of it. I'm going to post it on social media.
She did it so cool. That so it's a mint chocolate is the flavor, but she dyed the dough green.
Yep.
So it's just got like a really cool look to it. So it's like green on the inside, and then she used cocoa powder on the outside with the sugar, and it just looks really cool. You had one last night. How was it?
I did. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. Nice. A nice hint of mint. Yeah. So it doesn't overwhelm you with mint, but it's there.
No, she nailed it.
Smell the mint.
Yeah,
but,
she's so clever.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. It's very good. That'll be available all March, all of March, every day that we're open. Yeah. So what else is going on? We also have our next Seneca Lake Wine Trail event coming up.
Yeah, we do.
A new theme this year.
Yeah.
A new theme this year. We are doing a brunch theme.
Yeah. The food is outstanding. I mean, I don't know if you've gone on and looked at what people are serving for food, but I wish I could do it. Yeah. I feel like they really nailed it, the Seneca Lake Wine Trail.
Oh, we're doing it too.
Yeah, we nailed it too. I'm pretty excited about ours. Ours is a whipped feta with hot honey.
Whipped feta with hot honey. How are you serving that?
On a crostini.
On a crostini. Okay, and that's going to be where?
That'll be a Cane and Vine.
Cane and Vine. Whipped feta with hot honey.
Yes.
On a crostini.
Like a drizzled hot honey.
All right. There we go.
And then Toast is doing a sausage gravy over a biscuit.
Sausage gravy over a biscuit. All right.
Yeah, I feel like those are two like traditional brunch items.
Yeah. Great brunch items. So fun theme for the first time doing that.
Yeah.
The next Seneca Lake Wine Trail event. It is when, Jane?
March 20th through the 22nd. Light and Frost told me too yesterday when I was on a call that she is pairing it with mimosas because she felt like you have to have a mimosa with brunch. And I was like, "That she's cool. Right."
And you know that I'll be honest with you, that idea crossed my mind.
Yeah, I don't. She was like, everyone should do it. So
good for her that she's doing that.
We'll see if we can pull that off. I think that's a great idea.
I did think that. Oh, maybe we could. But anyway, we're not doing that. They're doing it. That's fine.
Well, no.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we can. We'll have to think about it. Yeah. But that's coming up. And again, you can get your tickets on the Seneca Lake Wine Trail website. And again, that's March 20th through the 22nd.
Yep. So Friday at noon to Sunday at 5. You have all the time. I think it's like, don't quote me, like 16 wineries.
That's going to be fun. Love those events. Love those events. And a new theme this year. Yeah. So that's great. All right. Before we get to the top 5, I know there was a lot. I'm feeling a lot better. So
thank you for all that were so highly
concerned. There was a lot of outpouring of concern for me, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate all the well wishes that everybody gave me, and I'm recovered now.
Thank God.
And
I was worried.
Thank you to the Toast Heads for your support. It's really appreciated.
Yeah. Thank God. I was worried.
All right, let's get to the top 5. We're going to do this a little different today. So we're going to talk about spring. I mean, it's March.
That's wild.
Spring is just a couple of weeks away.
Hopefully.
So it's almost spring.
We don't really know
we are going to do top 5 favorite things about spring. You're going to do that. I'm going to do top 5 least favorite things about spring. Okay. We're going to switch back and forth.
Okay, I was wondering how we were going to do that. Okay.
And we're going to go 5 to 1.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I don't need that.
I know. So top 5 favorite things about spring, Jane. Top 5 least favorite things about spring.
Who's going first?
I can go first.
Okay, good.
All right. So my first one is the rain. A lot of rain happens in spring. Just almost every day, raining. So one of my least favorite things about spring is the rain.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I think it's supposed
And,
to rain today.
and along with the rain, of course, everything's a muddy
Mud.
mess.
That is the bigger
Everything's
problem.
a
We got to go
muddy
outside with the
mess.
dogs in our muck boots.
Go outside. The parking lot turns into a soupy mess. I mean, everything's a muddy mess from all the rain.
That's true.
So that's number 5 for me.
So my number 5 is it's kind of the sign that like produce is going to be coming back soon.
Oh.
So fresh produce. Like I know you don't care, but like fresh vegetables and corn, it's like, you know, they're going to start their growing season. So I get pretty excited about that.
You do?
I do. I love my fresh vegetables.
One of your favorite things about spring.
It is, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's an unusual one. All right.
For you, because you don't eat vegetables.
Very good. My 4th is the fluctuating weather. That'll drive me crazy too, because we'll get these days, like we've got a day coming up next week where it's going to be 73 degrees. Oh. And then like 5 days later, there's a like chance of a snowstorm. Yeah. There's like 3 to 7 inches of snow right now in the forecast over not this weekend, but the following weekend. So yeah, that drives me crazy too, because you get these hints of warm weather coming, and then they just snatch it right back from you.
Yeah.
And Mother Nature plays games with me right now.
But one of my favorite things is the warmer days. Like coming out of this winter, like it feels so good to have that even like 40-degree day right now. So that's one of my favorite things, of those warmer days.
That's on your list?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right.
Your turn.
My turn? You're just checking them right off, huh?
Yeah.
Daylight savings time is one of my least favorite things about spring. I know it happens before spring because it's happening this weekend.
Yeah.
No, it drives me crazy. Why can't we just leave them alone? I am like miserable for like the first week.
I know, he's such a baby again
of daylight savings time.
If you thought the cold was bad,
I cannot get out of bed to save my life when daylight savings time first starts. It drives me insane.
On the flip side, I love the longer days.
I don't like
daylight
it. We just leave it
later.
alone. It will naturally become longer days every day that goes on.
Daylight later, I love that. And then more sun. It puts you in a better mood.
It doesn't for me for the first week. I'm miserable.
Like, see what I got to deal with every day. Your turn.
No, I just went.
I just went too. That's my favorite thing. Longer days.
Oh my gosh, that's the opposite of mine.
Well, it is. It's on my list.
Okay. All right. I didn't realize you were doing that. The other thing that drives me crazy is pollen gets all over everything in the spring. The tree, like seed pods, start dropping everywhere. That white stuff that floats around in the air here from those.
For me, that creates trees. Such allergies.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. Everything's all dirty and messy, and it's one of my least favorite things about spring.
One of my favorite things is we'll start grilling. With these
grilling
days.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good
love grilling.
That's a good one.
I feel like coming out of the winter, it's like haven't had a hamburger off the grill in months now, like probably a good 6 months, right? So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll start that 73-degree day. We will be grilling.
Definitely a good
And there's just more daylight at the end of the day, so you can go out there and grill when we get home from work. It's not dark, so yeah.
Good. Yep, that's a great one. My last one, my number one worst thing about spring, the grass mowing starts.
Oh, yeah.
The grass mowing starts. And I don't mind cutting the grass, right? It can be relaxing. The grass is so thick, and I feel like you can watch it grow. It grows so fast.
It does. But it also, but then it's muddy. So like sometimes like you get your stuck in
the grass, and then the grass is like 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Spring mowing is the worst.
I feel like it's all you do, and then you're covered in grass.
Yeah, so
and then we have developed allergies over the years. You have
from grass, from cutting the grass. Yeah, I'm pretty.
I could never.
But that's right. I still don't mind doing it, but spring is the worst.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. My number one is that everything's coming alive again.
Yeah.
Like everything's blooming. So while I probably feel like on both sides of this because I have awful allergies, as you know. But I love to see it. I love to see it kind of come alive again. Especially after a winter like we've had. Like it's been a rough one. It's been a cold one. It's been a snowy one.
Cold, snowy.
So it's kind of a sign of it's going to get better.
Good. Yeah. I don't know we're quite out of the woods yet.
We're not, but we're getting there. We're getting closer to there than we were.
We are getting there.
Yeah.
All right, good.
That's my list.
That was good. So hopefully that gets you guys thinking spring. It is right around the corner. Yeah.
That's what good. I got. Yep.
That's what I got too. So listen, so stay tuned. Now we're going to go behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you all about filtering wine today. All right. We hope you guys enjoy it. We will see you next week. All right.
Have fun.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, everyone. Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for sticking around on Toast Tuesday. And as I promised, we're going to talk about filtering today. I am getting ready to filter our dry rosé of Cabernet Franc. We're going to do a filter on that. This is a plate and frame filter is what we call this. Plate and frame. 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters each pad is. And we're going to talk about why we filter and all kinds of different things here momentarily. But let's start loading this filter up with filter pads so you can see what that looks like here. Come over here where I've got my filter staged. Pull some of these out. And I'm using a specific number of pads today based on the amount of wine we're going to be filtering. So I can take some of these plates out and use less pads. But we're going to go ahead and load the filter up with these filter pads. This is what actually filters the wine. And you can see it's just a pad of cellulose, I believe these are made out of. And not all pads are created equal. So you pick a pad based on what level of wine is the clarity of the wine, I guess I would say, right? So generally we filter the wine more than once during its life, and you start with a pad that is a bit looser, if you will, and get tighter and tighter pads as you get closer and closer to bottling. So I am going ahead here and loading up these filter pads, and I won't let you watch the whole thing, but you can see I'm putting them in between the plates here, and I'll try to explain as best I can the way the wine flows through here, but they will flow through this plate and frame filter and through these individual filter pads. All right, I got all my pads in. We're using about 16 pads today. We're filtering about, I don't know, 185 gallons of wine. So not a big filtering run at all. So that's why I can get away with 16 pads. So let's see, I've got it tightened up a little bit. We will, one of the first things we'll have to do, like anything in winemaking, we have to make sure everything is nice and sanitized and clean. And so we will sanitize these pads, and I'll show you that shortly. But let's talk about how this works, right? So you've got kind of, if you can see it here, we've got some valves. We've got an input and an output. This lower one here is the input. So the wine goes into there. And when it goes into there, it essentially will then push through this filter. So this thing will be all sealed up so that nothing kind of can come out. And the wine does not go through all of these pads. Each wine just goes through one pad. Once it decides what pad it's going to go through, it'll go on a path of least resistance. It'll flow through the bottom here and then into pads. Once it goes through a pad, then it'll come out the other side. But it does not have to get pushed through every single one of these pads here. Once it goes through a pad, it will actually come out the other side in whatever pad it has gone through. And the pads are what actually capture the solids or anything that's in there that we're going to be filtering out. So it runs through these pads. Once it's done being filtered, it will come out the other side. So it's as simple as that. Goes in, goes through the pad, comes out. Again, doesn't go through every single one of these pads. Whatever path that wine chooses, and it does choose the path of least resistance, it goes through that particular pad and then comes out the other side. So that's how this plate and frame filter works. Why do we filter? That's kind of the ultimate question, right? And of course, like anything in winemaking, there's debates and questions about whether we should filter at all. But I filter for a few different reasons. One, I think in commercial winemaking, people expect a nice, clear, bright. I call it diamond bright wine from its clarity standpoint. That's what people are looking for. They're not looking for a hazy wine. We're not drinking hazy IPAs here. We're drinking wine, so we expect it to be clear. And so filtering is what removes all those microscopic colloids and solids and things like that that could create or have a wine be hazy. I'm going to show you the wine before and after the filtering so you can kind of see what it looks like before and how it looks afterwards. Some people don't filter wines. Some natural winemakers or low intervention winemakers will just let a wine settle in a tank or in a barrel, and I'll let those solids settle to the bottom, and wherever that wine lands after that settling period, they'll pull it out and bottle it up just like that without filtering. I'm filtering for, just not only that clarity. The other reason I filter in this particular case for this dry rosé is for microbial stability as well. I'm ultimately going to be running this wine through smaller and smaller filters, and right before bottling, we're going to use what's called a membrane filter, which filters the wine through a 0.45 micron absolute filtration, and that removes bacteria. It removes the smallest of particles, and that's super important. This wine does have a touch of residual sugar, and I don't want that to re-ferment. I don't want bacteria to go after that sugar and create issues in the bottle. Now, in order to push that through a membrane filter at such a tight micron level, I'll need to filter it a few times through the plate and frame filter. Once using the pads we have here, and then one more time before bottling, I'll go even a tighter pour, lower, if you will, with the pad so that it gets filtered down pretty low, so that it can then flow through a little easier through that membrane filter. But we're really filtering for those two reasons here on my end. One, it's clarity, so that you can have that brilliantly clear wine that you love and expect. And also I do it for microbial stability. Like I said, can't use a membrane filter if I've not previously filtered the wine with this plate and frame filter in order to filter it at that tight of a level. So that's kind of the reasons why we do it. I'm not going to wax poetic and go on and on and on here about things. I'll pause here for a minute. We'll get this thing sanitized. I'll show you a little bit about that. We'll get our pump and our hoses and everything hooked up, and then I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're going to start that sanitation process. First thing I'm going to do, though, before we do that, is wet these pads down. We are going to get them good and wet. Everything will flow through here much better if the pads are already pre-soaked. So we're just spraying some cold water on here. People will often ask, and they'll say, Mike, hey, those pads, are they reusable? These are not reusable pads. These are used once and dispose of them. I wish they could be reusable. They're a bit expensive. But no, they are not reusable. So these are one-time use pads, and we'll get a good look at those afterwards as well. And you can see how dirty they are. So yeah, we'll get this nice and soaked down here, and then we'll get our sanitation solution ready to go. All right, we are sanitizing now. So we've got this nice and filled up here, and the sanitizing solution, really, which is a mix of citric acid and potassium metabisulfite. We call it citrosulfur. That is what we are going to use to sanitize these pads. And you can see the way the liquid runs through here. I just closed up these little valves here. That means our liquid is flowing through there nicely. And what we'll do is we'll run this for about 15 minutes. So we will let the about half of this drain out onto the floor, half of this barrel, and then we're going to go ahead and drop this hose into the barrel and let it recirculate for 15 minutes. And that'll get everything nice and sanitized. We'll then do a cold water rinse, fill up about 1 barrel's worth of with clean cold water, rinse that, run that through, and then we'll be ready to filter. Hey, I pulled out, I talked about a membrane filter. I pulled one out so you can kind of see what that looks like. Very different than the plate and frame filter. So this is basically just looks like even could be like a water filter or something like that. That's what it looks like with these pores in here, really, really small. We'll let very little or almost really nothing pass through it. 0.45 absolute is the micron rating on that. Absolute meaning nothing larger than 0.45 or nothing larger than 0.45 microns will be able to get through here. The other word with a plate and frame filter is nominal. This is about I guess I would say a 1.2 micron plate and frame filter, but nominal. So around the 1.2 microns, it will filter out any of that. So let's see. Yeah, we're a little bit more than halfway here while I'm blabbering on. We'll just put this in the barrel, and we'll let that recirculate 15 minutes. All right. All right, we are done with our water rinse. I am pushing nitrogen through the hoses right now for a couple of reasons. One, there's a lot of water in these pads after you do sanitation, and I need to try and push as much of that water out as I can with the gas. Even that won't get rid of it all, but it's a good way to do your best here. So you can see that we're kind of pushing water out there. And I'm also flooding these hoses with nitrogen, right? So you want to keep oxygen away from wine. And what better way to do that than fill those hoses with nitrogen, so that when we do start pushing the wine through the hoses, there's no oxygen in there and only nitrogen. All right, we're starting the filtering process. This is the by far the hardest part of the filtering process. I talked about a lot of water being in these filter pads still, and so we are having to push all that water out by pushing the wine through the filter. And I say it's the hardest part because at some point wine does start to flow through here, but it's very watered down, so you do lose some wine doing this for sure. You can see, look at that, does not look like a rosé at all. There's a little bit of color there, but all that water is diluting it out, and I need to wait until I feel like this looks like a rosé and not so much like water, and then we'll open the valve here to let the wine start flowing through. Go ahead and close up this side. So we just have the one side here flowing. Again, very much does not look like rosé at this point. So you do have to be patient. I'll probably lose 5 to 6 gallons of wine through this filtering process. And like I said, that can be a little frustrating, but part of the process. There are different ways to filter. This isn't the only way. I think it's definitely the most common for wineries our size. You also may hear people talk about cross-flow filters. That's the more modern filtering technique. Very expensive piece of equipment that does similar filtering, even better filtering, some would say, and it's much gentler on the wine. But those are very expensive pieces of equipment, about $125,000, I would say. So, yeah, we do not have that here. We have the plate and frame filter, and many of great wine has been filtered just the same way we're doing here. So, certainly not an issue. And starting to get a little bit of color there, but still not as pink as I'd like it to be. Filtering does pull some color out of the wine. There's no question about that. So we'll take a look and see what these pads look like at the end, so you can see that definitely the filtering process does take some color out of the wine. But I'm going to let this roll through now. We'll filter this. We'll check it at the end. I'm going to show you a before and after of the wine. We'll show you the filter pads, and we'll go from there. All right, we're going to take a look at the filtered versus unfiltered wine. I had the feeling it's going to look very non-different here for those of you at home here. The one on the left, this was the pre-filter. The one on the right, this is the after filter. You can kind of see the brilliance that you get on the right-hand side. So this one looks just, kind of dull, a little bit dull. And then when you move it over here, it looks just much brighter and clearer. And this isn't the final filter. Keep that in mind, right? This is there's still another one more plate and frame filter that I will do with a tighter pad. Actually, it'll be a 0.45 nominal pad that I'll do right before bottling. And then it'll be ready for the 0.45 absolute membrane filter. I got to tell you, this is tasting really good. It's a dry rosé of Cabernet Franc. Again, I've done that before. This is going to be a toast dry rosé, and wow. I mean, I think this is really good, and I'm excited for it. This might be the best rosé we've had at Toast yet. Famous last words there on my part, but I think that might be the case. I thought I'd show you this. This is a pressure gauge. There's two of them, and they measure the pressure in and out of the wine going in here. It's a way for me to keep an idea, to have some idea of how the wine is filtering through. This is less than one, so it's flying right through these filter pads with no issue at all. As the filters get built up with solids, that pressure will increase. And you may have heard me talk about troubling filters before. Sometimes these pads will get clogged. Depends on the turbidity, is what we call it, the turbidity of the wine. If the wine is very turbid, it's going to be a tough filter, and these pads are going to clog up, and that's when you've got, I don't want to call it a nightmare situation, but certainly a lot of trouble as it relates to it's just can be a pain to get the wine fully filtered. But this one's going to be fine. You could see when I showed the before and after. The before really already was pretty clear. Like a lot of those solids were dropping out and sitting at the bottom of the tank. So this is a pretty clear wine, very low turbidity. So I'm not anticipating any problems with this filtering today. But I always keep an eye on this pressure. When it starts to get above 1, that's when things start slowing down, and the wine goes a little slower through the pads and starts to get a little trickier. But to me, anything less than 1 is always a good sign in my book. All right, we are all done filtering. Let's see what these pads look like. I've opened this up, and we will take these out now. You can see that, reality, I probably had too many pads here, that they look pretty clean for going through this wine here. But you can see the color that it strips out for sure, and some of the solids that are still in the wine. So overall, successful filtering. And we will dispose of these, and then we will clean this guy up. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got to see something interesting and learn something interesting. And that's it for today. We'll see you next week. Enjoy. Bye.